According to the National Electrical Code, motors 1 horsepower and larger must be protected against overload. This means installing a 1.5 horsepower motor without overload protection is a violation of the code. Overload protection is essential because it safeguards the motor from overheating and potential failure. When a motor experiences an overload, it draws a higher current than its design capacity allows. This excessive current can lead to overheating, damaging the motor's insulation and eventually causing it to burn out. There are several recognized methods for providing overload protection to a motor. The most prevalent approach involves utilizing a circuit breaker or a fuse. These devices are selected with a current rating that corresponds to the maximum current the motor is anticipated to draw under normal operating conditions. When the motor current exceeds this rating, the circuit breaker trips or the fuse blows, interrupting the power supply and preventing damage to the motor. Other methods of overload protection include thermal overload relays. Thermal overload relays are electromechanical devices that monitor the motor's temperature. If the motor's temperature rises above a predetermined threshold, the relay trips, disconnecting the motor from the power supply. These relays typically incorporate a bimetallic strip or a melting alloy that responds to heat generated by the motor current. When the strip bends or the alloy melts, it triggers the relay to open the circuit. Current transformers are another means of providing overload protection. Current transformers are used to measure the motor's current without directly connecting to the high current conductors. The transformer produces a secondary current that is proportional to the motor current. This secondary current is then fed to a relay that monitors for overcurrent conditions. If the secondary current exceeds a set point, the relay trips, disconnecting the motor from the power supply. It is important to emphasize that the National Electrical Code specifically exempts motors 1 horsepower or smaller from the mandatory overload protection requirement. While not legally mandated, providing overload protection for these smaller motors is still a prudent practice. The relatively low cost of overload protection compared to the potential cost of motor replacement makes it a worthwhile investment. Even small motors can overheat and fail if subjected to prolonged overloads, and overload protection can significantly extend their lifespan. When selecting overload protection for a motor, it is essential to consider the motor's full load amps rating, service factor, and ambient temperature. The full load amps rating is the current the motor draws when operating at its rated horsepower and voltage. The service factor is a multiplier that indicates the motor's ability to handle occasional overloads. The ambient temperature is the temperature of the surrounding environment. The overload protection should be sized to protect the motor under all of these conditions. For example, if a motor has a full load amps rating of 10 amps and a service factor of 1.15, the overload protection should be sized to trip at 11.5 amps. If the ambient temperature is high, the overload protection may need to be derated to prevent nuisance tripping. In summary, while the National Electrical Code mandates overload protection for motors 1 horsepower and larger, it is a beneficial practice to extend this protection to smaller motors as well. Properly sized overload protection safeguards motors from overheating, extends their lifespan, and ultimately reduces the risk of costly downtime and replacement. The selection of appropriate overload protection devices should take into account the motor's specific characteristics and operating conditions to ensure optimal performance and reliability. The National Electrical Code, or NEC, provides comprehensive guidelines for electrical installations, including motor protection requirements. It's crucial to consult the latest edition of the NEC for specific details and any applicable local amendments. Understanding and adhering to these codes helps ensure safe and compliant electrical systems. When dealing with three-phase motors, several additional considerations come into play. Three-phase motors are commonly used in industrial applications due to their high efficiency and power output. They require a three-phase power supply, which consists of 3 alternating current voltages that are out of phase with each other. This configuration provides smoother power delivery and high torque compared to single-phase motors. Overload protection for three-phase motors typically involves monitoring the current in each of the 3 phases. If any phase experiences an overcurrent condition, the overload protection device will trip, disconnecting the motor from the power supply. This prevents unbalanced currents, which can lead to overheating and damage to the motor windings. In addition to overload protection, three-phase motors may also require short-circuit protection. Short-circuit protection devices, such as fuses or circuit breakers, are designed to quickly interrupt the power supply in the event of a short-circuit fault. This prevents severe damage to the motor and the electrical system. Ground fault protection is another important safety measure for three-phase motors. Ground faults occur when a motor winding comes into contact with ground. This can create a dangerous shock hazard and can also damage the motor. Ground fault protection devices are designed to detect ground faults and quickly disconnect the motor from the power supply. The selection of overload protection devices for three-phase motors should take into account the motor's full load amps rating, service factor, ambient temperature, and the type of load the motor is driving. It is also important to consider the starting current of the motor. Three-phase motors typically draw a much higher current during startup than during normal operation. The overload protection device must be able to withstand this starting current without tripping. There are several different types of overload protection devices available for three-phase motors, including thermal overload relays, electronic overload relays, and fuses. Thermal overload relays are the most common type of overload protection device. They use a bimetallic strip or a melting alloy to sense the motor's temperature. Electronic overload relays offer more advanced features, such as adjustable trip settings and remote monitoring capabilities. Fuses provide both overload and short-circuit protection. In addition to selecting the appropriate overload protection device, it is also important to properly install and maintain the device. The overload protection device should be installed in a location where it is easily accessible for inspection and testing. The device should be regularly inspected to ensure that it is functioning properly. The motor's nameplate provides critical information for selecting and setting the overload protection. This includes the full load amps, voltage, horsepower, and service factor. Using this data ensures accurate protection settings. Motor starters also play a role in motor protection and control. A motor starter is an electrical device that provides a safe and reliable method for starting and stopping a motor. Motor starters typically include overload protection, short-circuit protection, and other safety features. There are two main types of motor starters: across-the-line starters and reduced-voltage starters. Across-the-line starters apply full voltage to the motor terminals during startup. This method provides high starting torque but also draws a high starting current. Reduced voltage starters reduce the voltage applied to the motor terminals during startup. This reduces the starting current but also reduces the starting torque. The choice of motor starter depends on the specific application and the motor's characteristics. Regular maintenance is vital for ensuring the continued reliable operation of three-phase motors and their associated protection systems. This includes visual inspections, testing of overload protection devices, and cleaning of motor windings. Proper lubrication is also essential for reducing friction and preventing overheating. Motor control centers, or MCCs, are commonly used in industrial facilities to house and control multiple motor starters and other electrical equipment. MCC provide a centralized location for monitoring and controlling motors, and they often include advanced features such as remote monitoring and control capabilities. In summary, protecting three-phase motors from overload conditions is crucial for ensuring their reliable operation and preventing costly downtime. Understanding the National Electrical Code requirements, selecting the appropriate overload protection devices, and implementing a regular maintenance program are all essential steps in achieving this goal. Furthermore, considering short-circuit and ground fault protection as layers of safety to the motor system. Always consult with a qualified electrician or electrical engineer for specific guidance on motor protection and control. They can assess the application requirements, select the appropriate equipment, and ensure that the installation complies with all applicable codes and standards. Choosing the right motor for a particular application is also a critical decision. Factors to consider include the required horsepower, speed, torque, and efficiency. Different motor types are suited for different applications. For example, induction motors are commonly used in general-purpose applications, while synchronous motors are often used in applications requiring precise speed control. Permanent magnet motors offer high efficiency and compact size. Variable frequency drives, or VFDs, are increasingly used to control the speed and torque of three-phase motors. VFD offers several advantages, including energy savings, improved process control, and reduced mechanical stress on the motor and driven equipment. However, VFD can also generate harmonic currents, which can affect the power quality of the electrical system. Harmonic filters may be required to mitigate these effects. When working with electrical equipment, safety is paramount. Always to energize the equipment before performing any maintenance or repairs. Use appropriate personal protective equipment, such as safety glasses, gloves, and insulated tools. Follow lockout-tagout procedures to prevent accidental energization of the equipment. Electrical safety training is essential for all personnel who work with electrical equipment. This training should cover topics such as electrical hazards, safe work practices, and emergency procedures. Regular refresher training is also important to keep personnel up to date on the latest safety information. In addition to the National Electrical Code, other standards and regulations may apply to motor installations. These may include local built-in codes, environmental regulations, and industry-specific standards. It is important to be aware of all applicable requirements and to ensure that the installation complies with them. The cost of motor protection and control equipment is an important consideration, but it should not be the only factor. The long-term benefits of proper motor protection, such as reduced downtime, extended motor life, and improved safety, often outweigh the initial cost. Investing in quality motor protection equipment is a wise decision that can save money in the long run. Motor efficiency is another important factor to consider. Energy-efficient motors can save significant amounts of electricity over their lifetime. The National Electrical Manufacturers Association, or NEMA, has established standards for motor efficiency. NEMA premium efficiency motors are the most energy-efficient motors available. When replacing an existing motor, consider upgrading to a NEMA premium efficiency motor. This can result in significant energy savings and reduced operating costs. The National Electrical Code Article 430 covers motors, motor circuits, and controllers. It is important to be familiar with this article when designing and installing motor systems. Article 430 provides requirements for motor overload protection, short circuit protection, ground fault protection, and other aspects of motor protection and control. In conclusion, motor protection is a complex and multifaceted topic. Understanding the National Electrical Code requirements, selecting the appropriate protection devices, implementing a regular maintenance program, and prioritizing safety are all essential for ensuring the reliable and safe operation of motor systems.